Number 100, it's a remix. Number 100, it's a remix. Hey, hey.
Today, let's build base Windows images for differencing disks in Hyper-V. This allows for multiple virtual machines to be deployed in Hyper-V. These share the same base image to speed up creating the lab.
First, let's look at the physical server. This is basically a desktop PC with an 8-core CPU and motherboard that have virtualization support. There's plenty of RAM here at 16 GB. Let's use this 240 GB SSD drive for the VMs to run on.
Time to work on the server base image. Let's build a new virtual machine called Base 2016. It's good to have a plan for your Hyper-V file path before deploying virtual machines. Let's use dhyper-v for the machine path. This will result in provisioning a folder in the name of the server under dhyper-v. Under that folder there will be a child folder for the virtual machine and a child folder for the virtual disks.
Use a Generation 1 machine with the default amount of memory. Connect the network interface to the virtual switch named LAN. The machine will use a dynamic disk that will expand up to 40 GB if needed. This should be sufficient for the lab scenario. Concluding the setup of the VM. Select the DVD ISO for Server 2016 as the installation media for this VM.
Connect to the machine and turn it on. For the base image we're really just going to click through the defaults to build the server. Let's choose the data center with Desktop Experience Edition of Windows Server 2016.
While the Base 2016 install progresses, why not set up the Windows 10 base image VM? Follow the same selections as you did previously for the Server 2016 VM. We'll just leave this one switched off for the moment, so there isn't too much resource contention.
Now, let's switch back to the server installation in progress. This is going a bit slow because of the 1 GB of RAM we assigned to the machine. Let's just muddle through by cropping out some of the video. Remember, you can eject the DVD at this point under the media option in the settings of the VM.
When working with the base image, there are two objectives. First is disabling Server Manager from starting by default. Yes, it can be handy to have this. But, it really can slow you down when you are working with several machines at once and you are waiting for each of them to open Server Manager. This is done by using PowerShell to get the scheduled task named Server Manager and disabling this scheduled task.
The second objective here is enabling remote desktop access. You really don't want to spend a lot of time working in the Hyper-V console. You just want to do it long enough to get the machine into a state where you can RDP to it. RDP is much faster and less cumbersome than working with machines in Hyper-V console. Plus, there's the added benefit of copying and pasting to and from RDP sessions.
You have accomplished the two objectives of disabling Server Manager starting by default and enabling remote desktop. Now, you're running sysprep to generalize the machine and shut it down.
In Windows Explorer, you can mount each of the images and copy scripts to the C drive of each machine. These scripts might allow you to use the copy and paste inside the Hyper-V console to do the minimum setup to get each machine ready for its role in the lab. This could include configuring the IP address, formatting additional volumes, renaming the computer and rebooting.
Once the VMs that are based on these images reboot, you can use RDP to connect to them and go on to configure the lab. Look for my next video. Thank you.